Grab my ankles and dancing tonight. Come on, baby, hurt me good. Anyways, yeah, I want to talk about this. Yes, it's another book clip. Okay, fine, whatever. This is book 4 now. Okay, now I'm really, really excited about this one. Like, it's, it's like when it comes, you gotta go with the flow. It's like this book right now. I've literally just started it, and it's just flowing out of me like the shits. I mean, I'm already on page 18. Okay, I have 11,844 words already. I mean, you understand it. I have the basic outline of it. Everything is ready to go. I got to write a lot of shit too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely really excited where this fucker's gonna go. Like up the ass, bend me over, shove it sideways, make me squeal. I'm excited. I can't express. Well, you gotta understand the way the last one, just the shit that it dredged up. It's like no, I'm good, bruh. Okay, I no, it's just between the stepmother and the house and just living in that squalor of bullshit. I, and then coming to this one where I'm now renting from my grandmother. Well, I'm renting from Graham, and just a new life by myself, like living here. Now, here's what I was thinking. Like I'm going all balls out on this. The book 4 is it. That's it. I'm done. Like I am finito. Okay, done, motherfucker. That's it. Okay, niente, empty, motherfucker. It's gone. In fact, I'm going to retire the whole chocolate chip cookies and wear dog theme. Now I may go into the God hates Phoebes political religious stuff. I may do that. I haven't got to that part yet. I mean, there's definitely enough stuff there. There's definitely enough shit there, but right now, my life story is it's gonna culminate with book 4. I am gonna tell every fucking story that I've never had a chance to tell yet, that I probably didn't want to tell, but like I'm going balls out on this one, like just flapping in the wind. Okay. Now I have certain ideas here. I'm just gonna run through these again. I'm doing this for myself. I'm kind of documenting it for myself. I'm kind of running through this in my own head. So, like, again, anybody clicks on this on YouTube, like, what's this about? Whatever. Not for you. You can listen. I don't give a fuck, but whatever. So, I have, like I said, I have pretty much the outline of what I want. I know things I want to talk about. I've got chapter titles already. I'm going to do one because I did a clip yesterday, which ironically was hysterically funny. I got like 28 hits within like 10 minutes. It was called Big Tits and Church People. That's going to be the title of one of the chapters. Big Tits and Church People. And see, what was that going to be followed up with? Oh crap, I can't remember. Whatever. There's a follow up to that. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But let me run through this. This is what I have for the table content so far. We have the prologue, and it's entitled "My First Attempt at Making Homemade Fuck Pie." And I have these two great Emerald Lagasse quotes, which is fucking funny as shit. And it's where I bought the fucking pudding, and I double fucking checked. It was like a goddamn Mandela effect. I checked twice, motherfucker, that it said cook and serve, not instant. Fuck your instant. I'm sorry, you need instant, you need a fucking punch in the dick. I mean, if you want instant pudding, just go in the back, get some of those little Jello containers, and peel off the fucking top. Give me a break. I mean, how much more instant do you need? You take milk and apply heat. What else is there to do? I mean, you essentially have to do the same thing with the instant. You have to apply the milk and stir. The only difference is you're adding heat. I mean, how much more instant can you get? Whatever. It's my own little thing. So, where this one starts off, it literally starts off right at the beginning. I've just moved out here. Graham, like, I don't have the lay of the land yet, and I explain all that. Like, I don't know where, I don't know where anything is. I don't know where anything is in town. I go to stores. I don't know where anything is in said stores. It's like, oh, where's the bread at the Big M? I don't know. Never been here before. So it's like I was kind of going through that. Now, whatever. Anyways, that's kind of the beginning, because it's a prologue. It's setting up, to me, this was setting up the whole thing. And I'm going to bookend it with the prologue and then the epilogue, because I'm basically coming here, I'm all alone, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and then the end, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but so essentially, as I'm getting, acclimated to my surroundings, Graham then informs me that to quote unquote not buy bananas at the one store because they're 30 cents more, but to buy them at, Great American. So, as I'm going through the store, I see bananas, and I'm like, because it was one of those things, she planted the seed. It was like, I don't want bananas, don't need bananas, but get bananas. I gotta get bananas. And then later it was, don't buy the bananas at all, get the ones on the day old stand. Like, I can't buy fresh bananas. I have to get the day old stand. She implemented that in my head 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And to this day, I still get them off the day old stand for like $1.70. And of course, you got to eat them within a day or two, or they're fucking rotten. But whatever. So I was walking through the store, and I'm like, okay, there's some bananas, 30 cents cheaper. Fine, I'll pick them up. And as I'm looking at them, I literally hoist them aloft, like Link from Legend of Zelda, going dun 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 dun. One of those things, like he was holding up the raft in the original Zelda. Remember that? I'm literally standing in a store holding these things aloft, looking at them. And I got the novel idea, let's make fuck pie. Let's make some pie. Let's make banana cream motherfucking pie. And I'm like, yeah, shit. Now, I don't know where anything is. I had no clue where the pie crusts are, because I'm going to get one of those cheap, pre-made graham cracker ones in the little fuck tins, and, whatever. I'm not going all out on this, obviously. Like, I could have got some stupid dough and made like a thing. Nah, fuck all that. Anyway, somehow I find it. I get all the stuff. Get home. And apparently you can't just take the stupid pie crust and put the shit in it. You have to bake it. Now, being freshly new and evicted from my home, I don't have all the utensils of shit that I need. In fact, I still don't even, to this day, have some of the stuff that I need to make the fuck pie. And the reason I call it fuck pie is because it didn't turn out very good. It fucked up. So it's called the fuck pie. Because you're supposed to take eggs and or egg whites and then lightly brush them onto the pie and then bake them 375, the crust at 375 for like 10 minutes. And then take it out and add your pudding. And if you want to do whipped cream on top of that or whatever. Well, I don't have a brush. I don't have a brush, not that kind of brush. I mean, I got like a paintbrush, watercolor brush. I ain't gonna be putting no egg white on no fucking watercolor brush that I stole from Ralph W. I'm not gonna be doing that shit. So I got the novel idea of mixing up the little egg whites in a bowl and then kind of dumping it all in there and then sloshing the little tin around. Well, I think when I did that, I ended up dislodging some of the stuff. So then when I put it in to bake it, I look about, halfway through, about 5 minutes through, and the thing is like breaking up into like chunks of shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I quickly pull it out, and it's all fucked up. Like the whole crust is just like crumbled into like this. It's like powder, and I'm like, what the fuck? The whole point of the egg yolk was to hold it. And of course, I don't have plastic wrap. All I have is some stupid Ziploc bags that Gene gave me. So I take the Ziploc bag and I'm like trying to push it down and try to pat it around the side. Of course, when I do that, I end up fucking the tin up. The tin's all banged the fuck up. So then I had to like wobble that out in place, and I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, it's the whole story. There's more to it, but obviously I'm just giving you a rundown. Anyways, so the prologue, I'm setting up for the concept of the book, the concept of what this is. It's going to start off with me. Well, actually, the epilogue is going to be different. Because the prologue is just going to set up what's going on. Then, like, the last chapter is going to be just me sitting here, like, all alone, pondering, oh my god, everybody's fucking dead. Okay, so it's like, I start out alone. Graham's telling me to buy bananas. I'm living alone. I've never lived alone before a day in my life. That's where it starts. That's where the book starts. And then I'm alone because everybody's fucking gone. Okay, so they're going to kind of bookend each other. And then the epilogue, I'm going to end with a story with all of us together, where the old woman would make her famous spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to go through the whole thing. I'm not even going to tell you how to make it and what to do and all this shit. And it's basically going to be Dale T, the old woman, myself, and Gene. Because we had a little thing. I don't know where I'm going to go with it necessarily, other than just that concept. But that's going to be the epilogue. It's going to be like the end of it. Like, boom. And I want to end on like a little happy note. Because what happened? And I think it's absolutely fitting to end the book and the whole, like, retire the whole chocolate chip cookies and word dog thing on this particular note. Due to my physicalities and just the way I am, I can't do spaghetti. So I ended up getting sick and getting the shits, which I think is absolutely brilliant. You got this beautiful little moment, we're all together and having a family moment, all of a sudden I get sick and get the shits. And that's how it ends. I think that's going to be absolutely brilliant. Okay. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Now, somewhere in there, I also want to do one more story where we were all together, but I don't remember the story, and this is the problem. It was my grandparents' 50th anniversary. We went to Katie and Carl's in Camden. Great restaurant, by the way. Really like that place. They were always good to us. And this is where Jean bought... She bought them this... I don't know if it was silver. Yeah, it was silver for 50, I think. Was it 50? Whatever. She bought them this silverware, essentially. It was silverware. Like, legit, like, silver. Like, she went on her way to spend a couple $100 on this. Whatever. And, of course, Graham thought it was all classy and shit, and she'd bring it out for, like, holidays and stuff later on, but... This is picture. My grandfather, he's holding it, he's looking, he's smiling. He's smiling, because they were kind of... They were oddly more well off than I think they realized. And they really liked all that classy shit. They got like tickled over it because like they had nothing, like legitimately they started with nothing. So when you have something like, oh, we got a fancy car or we got a fancy whatever, and they're like, yeah, they're all in their glory and their pride, and it was just, and of course Jean's all excited because she's like, oh, I spent all this money on, and of course the three of us are just sitting there like, it's silverware, what the fuck, we would have been better off with plastic silverware. You saved all that money. I mean, seriously, why are you going to waste all that money on fucking silverware for the 50th anniversary? Or whatever it was. It was 25... It was either 20, 25... Well, I don't think it was... No, it wasn't 75. They weren't even that old. So, it was... Unless it was 25. It was either 25 or 50. Whichever one is silver. Because there's silver and then there's gold. Then there's like bronze and copper and platinum or something at 100 or whatever. I don't remember. But Jean was like all into this. Like, oh, it's... silver for the 50th, and she was all into that. And I was like, whatever, man. Just do what you gotta do. And it's just... the problem is, I don't remember the story. I'm gonna have to, like, contemplate the story, and... Because there's that time when we had, because there was this one woman there, and I can't remember her fucking name. But she knew us, because we'd go there after church, like, every fucking week. And she ended up taking a picture of, like, the family. And in fact, it's the one family photo that we have of, like, all of us. With the exception of my other aunt. But, whatever. She died in the early 80s. And there's my mother with her big 80s poofy hair. Jean hadn't changed at all in like 40 years. My grandfather's in his little sweater. He's smiling. He's in pain, but he's smiling. Graham's in her glory. Got the family around. Got the silverware. She's holding the silverware. There's Dale T. He's in the back smiling. Got this little tan suit coat on. Little whatever the fuck those things are called. Sports jacket. Little tan sports jacket. He's like, that's back when he had hair. Now, when I say hair, I meant he had a little horseshoe around the back. He bald as fuck on top. He had a little comb over. He's smiling. Little teeth are fucking out. So, I still got to talk about all that. Anyways, I don't know. I got off on that tangent. Anyway, back to this. So, now again, all these titles are subject to change. In fact, some of them are just working titles right now. But I originally started with 3 parts, like I did in book 3, where it was like beginning, middle, and end. Well, this one I expanded out into 7 parts, 8, 9 if you count prologue and epilogue, but the base outline of the book is going to be 7 parts. Because I'm going all fuck out on this. Like I said, I'm gonna like go back in my own fucking mind and just relive all this fucking shit. And if there's a story to be told, there's a story to be told, and it's gonna go in here. I'm throwing everything at this fucking book. Like I could maybe see this fucking book reaching close to 300 pages again. Maybe, I don't know if there's enough stuff. Well, I'm already at 18 pages, and I just started. I can't. I shouldn't say that because I'd be lucky if I get like 100. I'd be like 82, and I'll be like, oh shit, I don't know. But I could envision it being well over into 2, very close to 2, if not more, between 2 and 3, that's 100 pages. It's obviously a big gap, but you get my point. I could see this being pretty big. Because the last one was only like 150 pages. Less than 150 pages. Although by the time you space everything out, it probably would be around 150 pages. And then whatever it is when you format it into actual book format. I don't know what that is. Probably a little more than that. Probably closer to 180 maybe, give or take. Whatever. So anyways, part 1 is, let's see, starting my new life, exchanging one crazy bitch for another. Thanks, Graham. That's what I'm calling that one. Again, it can be tweaked. The gist of this, of part 1, is me moving in and then starting a life with Graham nearby. Having to, like, deal with her bullshit. Because I want to separate viable Graham versus she broke her hip and now she's in a Mary Walker and she's completely a burden. Okay. That there needs to be a separate, because she was driving me around, and like there's stories to talk about when she took me she took me around town. In fact, it'll be probably the first chapter. She took me to the grand tour of the town, which the only time I ever toured the town is when we were in a funeral procession. Which basically, essentially we were in a funeral procession. It was just the 2 of us in a car. You can take that for what it's worth. Actually, no, shit, there was 3 of us. Lucy was there. Oh my god, Graham loved taking Lucy for rides. She loved Lucy. She took Lucy for rides. And like, because Graham would have to take me shopping. And she'd always want to bring Lucy, because every time I'd get out, she loved the fact that Lucy would bark every time I got out of the car. Like, I was leaving Lucy, so she was, like, in the back seat barking, like, roof, 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 where are you going? And Graham loved that, and she'd be like, Lucy, no, oh, calm down, Lucy, he'll be back, Lucy. And she'd tell me all about, Peter, she was barking when you left, So, I'd go in and get my stuff and come back. And this is back when I was able to go once or twice a week, even sometimes. Now I got to go twice a month because there's no way to get there. Because, honest to God, physically I can't drive. And people I don't think understand it. Because I have these spasms in my fucking leg. And I don't want to be sitting at a stoplight and all of a sudden my leg just, just buckles out. And all of a sudden I slam into the gas and plow into a bunch of fucking people. So it's like I can't drive. I physically can't do it because of my leg and the muscle, the nerves and all that bullshit in my fucking right leg, and it's not good. I know there's different cars with the little switchies and pulleys, and it's like, no, I ain't got time for shit like that. I'd rather pay somebody to drive me. I ain't, no. I can drive, that's the thing. The weird thing is I can actually drive. So it's not like I can't. It's just I prefer not to because I don't want to, I don't know, kill fucking people. Call me crazy. Whatever. But whatever. So, like, she had to drive me around. So it was like... And then, like I said, then she took me on a grand tour. We ended up stopping at Owl Wire, and she's like, Peter, this is where your father will work when he leaves that bitch. Because she was... there. I gotta play this up. There was this conspiracy in her head that bitch, my stepmother, was manipulating my father. Not that he was in cahoots to any of this. He was just an innocent victim like the rest of us. And that one day he would wise up and leave the bitch. Of course, by then, in her mind, it'd be all too late. And in other words, she believed, a lot like Anakin Skywalker, that there was redemption in that motherfucker. And that when he had nowhere to go, he could come live with us, because we had the room over on the other side. He could come live with us. And he could work at Owl Wire. We're sitting in the parking lot, Owl Wire, and Grandma's like, Peter, see this? This is Owl Wire. Your father can work here when he leaves that bitch. Jesus. And I'm sitting in the back like, yep, Graham, yep, okay. Because I'm sitting in the back like she's chauffeuring me around, basically. So I'm sitting in the back with the dog. I was just more comfortable back here because there was more room. So I still got to talk about all that shit. Anyways, so starting my new life, exchanging one crazy bitch for another. Thanks, Graham. That's part 1. Now, I have ideas for chapters 1 and 2. The grand tour of the town is going to be like either 1 or 2. And then I've got another idea for 1 or 2, depending on which one I want to put first, whatever. Anyways, currently we have Thanksgiving 2007, which is a working title, obviously. And then we have this one. Then we have Easter 2008. I entitled this one. Now, I was surprised by this because I wrote this years ago. I just happened to randomly find it. I had to tweak it. I had to fix it a little bit, but it was called. And again, I came up with this. I don't remember how many years ago. I may have wrote this when it happened. I may have wrote it while I was here. I don't remember. I don't even remember where this title came from. Where I thought this up. I mean, it fits with the story, but it's called 1 for the frosting, 2 for the cake, 3 to take for later, now go, Graham, go. That's where we were at the restaurant. It was Easter, and we're at the buffet, and all of a sudden they bring out the cakes, and Graham decides to jump up and start putting her finger in all the cakes and licking them. In other words, other people are going to come up and see these cakes and take them back and eat them, and there's finger holes where her fucking finger was. And Jean is she's screaming, Mom, get back here, don't do that. I was like, oh my God. It's the idea she thought she could stick her finger in somebody else's food. She had completely oblivious to that, to just the normalcy of what, the not normalcy of what she was doing. It was like, anyways, so I've got 2 titles there, in part 1. In part 2, I don't have a title for her. This is where Graham breaks her hip and when she dies. And in that we have Graham versus the Bee. Oh my God, it's one of the times I had to call 911 to have them come and literally pick her up. Because she's in a Mary Fuck Walker. She can't move. She's in this contraption. And in her infinite wisdom, she decides to chase a bee around the fucking porch. And she ends up falling out of the Mary Walker, tipping some bitch over. Well, the wheel falls off. She's sitting there. She's just sitting there, just plopped on her ass, sitting there. But the problem is she was stuck. She couldn't move because she's right propped up in front of the door. And she just can't roll over and she can't move. She's stationary basically. And I had to go. I heard her calling, Peter, Peter. Oh my god! And I had to go downstairs, so I had to let the dog out. So I went to go downstairs, like down the front stairs, not the hall stairs inside. And I was gonna go to her front door, but she keeps it locked, and I don't have a key. So I was like, "What the fuck?" Luckily, for some unbeknownst fuck reason, she had the door on the porch, which is where I was headed with the dog, unlocked. And I was able to get in there. The only problem is, I'm on the sun porch on the inside. She's blocking the door, and I need to get to her fucking phone. So I need to crawl over her through the door. I don't know how the fuck I fit through all that. Then I had to sit there and wait for the fucking paramedics to get here to prop her up. And then she sits there, after they leave, she just wants to sit there and yak and talk about what's going on. So I had to sit there for another hour. My entire day was compromised at that point. I woke up with a headache. Whatever. So yeah, Graham versus the Bee. So this is part of her. Well, there's going to be her breaking her hip, her stories as broken hip, and then it's going to end with her dying. In fact, part 2 is just going to end her funeral, boom. And then part 3, and again, this is a working title. All the extra shit that I wanted to include, but wasn't worth talking about until now. That's part 3, which is where I'm going to talk about the big tits and church people. I'm going to talk, the Colemans. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to do the big tits and church people. Just random women at church that had big tits. It's just, there's a whole thing going on there. And then we're going to transition, speaking of women with big tits, right into the Colemans and their insanity and beating their kids for Jesus and the whole nine. Colemans beat their kids for Jesus. Beating their kids for Jesus. The insane Colemans beating their kids for Jesus, or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But that's going to be part 3, and that's going to be kind of, because I want 2 to end with Graham dying, and it's like, oh wow, holy shit, you know? It's kind of like, it's been a character throughout the entire series, and oh shit, she's dead, you know? And I kind of want to pause there, just tell some random stories, and just fill in, you know, just whatever. I'm probably get into a Neapolitan debate where I fucking discuss why I hate Neapolitan ice cream. I might even do something there. I'm just going to do just random shit in this section. Just shit that I want to talk about. And then we're going to go immediately into part 4, which is then, now that there's the vacuum and the void of tenancy, Gene then moves in, becomes the landlord. And then I'm going to talk about Lucy getting sick and dying, which I got to do some stories about her. Just because. I want to talk about her having a seizure and just being completely fucking, like, distraught over that shit, and then getting Mr. Boots. We got to do some Mr. Boots stories. We got to do some stuff like that. He's kind of the new Ollie, whatever. I'm going to talk about where I almost killed him. I swear to God, I almost killed fucking dog. And I admit, it's not one of my prouder moments as a dog owner. When I first got him, he was a fucking asshole. He was a fucking asshole to the point of no return. Like, he would do things he knew it would piss me off. He would look at me and I'd say, no, he'd do it. He would do things that would just irritate me. It got to the point where I was so fucked up after Lucy died that I actually wished he would die. I said, I wish you had died and not her. I said that to him, and I feel guilty about that today. He was just being such a little bastard. Like, just a little fucking shit. I mean, he's a puppy. He didn't, you know. And then he chewed up my freaking cord. I had just gotten that headset. I was talking to people and playing Destiny 2, and I had people that I was, you know, befriended on my friends list, and I didn't have a headset, so I couldn't talk to them. I finally get a headset, and I had it for literally 20 minutes. Got up, had to use the bathroom. I come back, he's already chewed the fucking cord. Oh my God, I grabbed him. I took that mangled cord and I wrapped it around his fucking head, and I said, "You ever chew this again, I will kill you." I said that I admit, not my greatest moment as a dog owner. I'm not gonna lie. But he threw me off the fucking flight of stairs on that one, and I guarantee you, he hasn't chewed shit since. Okay, he did learn his. I scared the shit out of him, and that was the point of what I was trying to do. Now it's like, I love the dog. I can't get enough of him. It's like, there was this moment where it was like, it clicked. You know, it's like we had that like, fuck you, I don't like you, for a while, actually. And it was just like, I don't, fuck you. I'm gonna feed you, just go fuck yourself. You wanna chew up my shit? Because oh my god, he chewed up so much shit, dude. Oh my god. He honest to God is he fucking ruined about $4,000 worth of shit. He's chewed up furniture. He's chewed up irreplaceable collectibles that I can't ever get back because they were limited edition. He chewed up figures. He chewed up books. He shit on one of my books once. Don't even get me started. But now it's like, you know, it's completely. There was a switch, and it went bloop, and it was just like 180. It was like I went from I fucking can't stand you to you're the cutest thing ever. Okay, it was a weird little thing. I got to talk about that because it's just, you know, it's fucked up. Or I don't know if I ever had that with Ollie. Ollie was just kind of like an asshole. You know, it wasn't like I hated Ollie. I don't know. It was really weird. I had a similar moment with Lucy. Not where I hated, because Lucy was always good. But there was like that moment where it was like, you know, this is my little baby. You know what I mean? It was like, she went from, oh, it's just a random dog to, oh, she's, you know, the sweetest little thing ever. You know, one of those things. It was. I never really had that moment with Ollie where it was like, oh, Ollie. I mean, we were always like huggy, kissy kind of thing, and he'd, you know, he got all kind of gruff with it, but you know. I don't know. I don't know if I had that. I don't know if I ever had that connection with him. I don't know. It's weird. Because it actually reminds me of that moment in House when Cuddy, when she adopted the baby, and it's like, at first it's like, what the fuck did I get myself into? What am I doing here? The baby's a fucking asshole. The baby won't shut the fuck up. You know, chloroform the little fucker. You know. And all of a sudden it was like, there was that moment, and it's the light switch went on. Bloop. It was, I really appreciated that moment because I related to that. Although I think Mr. Boost was after that, but whatever. Thinking back, I get it. Whatever. Anyways, so like I said, it wasn't my proudest moment as a dog owner, but I can safely say it's the ship's been righted at this point. And he's still an asshole. He still does stupid shit. I tell him not to do stuff. He just runs in there and is like, oh, now I'm gonna do it anyway. Fuck you. You know. I also want to talk about how he's such a picky fucking eater. I don't understand him. Like, there's one moment he'll eat something and love it to Jesus. And the next day he's like, no, I don't want any more of that. Fuck you. Last year he couldn't get enough turnip. This year it's like, nah, I don't like that. Cousin Cindy bought him some treats. No, he didn't like them. But then sits there and eats all the marshmallows. He loves the marshmallows, but he doesn't want to eat the dog treats. It's like, what? I gave him whipped cream and some pie. He ate the pie, didn't eat the whipped cream. Now there's whipped cream all over his bowl. That's now hard as fuck. He liked the cabbage salad. Then he didn't like the cabbage salad. And it's like, why are you being such a picky little prick? Oh my god. Anyways. So where was I? Yeah, so we gotta get some Mr. Boot stories in there. I want to do a few of them too, because again, he's kind of like the new Ollie, obviously, because Ollie's not here. Anyways, then we're gonna move on to part 5, and that's when Jean dies. And again, I want her story to kind of go from like book 1, where she was the enemy, she was the villain, she was the bitch. I mean, she's been the bitch throughout the whole thing. She's gonna be a bitch right like the moment she dies. Like, yeah, you know, she's gonna say, you know, she's just gonna be a bitch like on the last day of her life. It's just gonna be one of those, bloop, you know, It's just gonna be one of those things. Um, Whatever. But I want there to be like this redemption moment, kind of like her and I are on the same page. Like I got this one story I want to talk about where it's called, again, tentative title. It's in work, in progress. Thanks for the tool bag, Aunt Jean. Because when I first moved out here, she bought me a tool bag. I don't know why, but she did. I still use it today. To this day, I was using stuff out of it the other day. So, whatever. Um, okay. I also, let's see. Part 5 is when Jean dies. We have the night Jean died. Okay, again, that's just a simple title. Maybe I might tweak that, add to it, whatever. The next chapter is much like Elvis, Jean has left the building. Then we have Jean's funeral. Again, these are not full titles. I'm gonna have to think about that shit a little bit more. Part 6 is everybody's dead. Now what? And then part 7 is gonna just be last minute things I want to talk about, and then ending the book. Just ending the series. Just be done with it. Because again, it's gonna culminate essentially with almost my death. I mean, we're like right to the end of it. I'm gonna be 40 fucking 2. Okay, do you understand that? 40 fucking 2. I'm almost 40 fucking 2. I'll be 42 in a couple months. People my size, we don't. I am. It is a miracle that I've made it to 42. There's guys who were thinner than me, still overweight, but still thinner than me, who didn't make it into 40. Okay, so I'm a goddamn miracle on multiple fronts. It's a miracle that I can walk with the spina bifida and all the bullshit. It's a miracle that I'm still alive. Although the way things have been going currently, I mean, it's not unheard of to hear, obese fat man dies at like 42, heart failure. Okay, that's just not. It's not unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I love the concept of book 1 being kind of early years, book 2 being kind of mid-20s, book 3 being 30s, and now this one being like 40s. I just. No, it's actually really cool when you think about it. And you put them all together. They each kind of encompass a 10-year period, give or take. And it's basically gonna go right up to my death, essentially. But yeah, living alone, because that's what part 6 is going to be about, trying to deal with, okay, now what? I mean, dude, you gotta understand, my first aunt, she was dead. She died in like 81, 82, somewhere in there. Then my grandfather died. Then the old woman died. Then Jean died. Oh, no, excuse me, then Lucy died. Then Jean died. No, actually, Ollie died, then Jean died. Then Graham died. Then my Uncle Paul, Jean's ex-husband, he died. I was like, oh my god, like, I can't remember, I don't have any memories of, like, everybody together. Which it would be, like, 93? Or 83, excuse me. No, actually should be, like, 79, I'd be, like, 2 years old. Give or take. 2, 3 years old, whatever. I have no memories of, like, all of us together. Fucked up. It's like, I mean, how do you not have memories of your family? It's just weird. Like, none of us, there was no actual memory. I know there were times, but it was like, because Jean lived so far away, there were sometimes when my other aunt was out, and we were up to Graham's, and we were all, like, it was us, and Jean wasn't here, and there were times when Jean was here, and the other aunt was out here, she moved out to Texas later, so, and Jean was in Poughkeepsie, so it was like, she was hours away, and the other one was states away, and then they'd come back, and it was like, there was really no time when everybody was together. It was just really weird. Just very odd. I mean, can you imagine? Think about that shit. I mean, the one that's been dead, my other aunt, there was 3 sisters, my other aunt, she died in 81. Do you understand that? 81? Just think about all the shit she missed out on. Just seriously, just think about all the shit she's missed out on. I mean, I don't know, man. That's sad. That's just, it's fucked up, is what it is. It's from a God point of view, it's fucked up. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. Anyways, I don't want to get into all that. That's a whole other. So yeah, that's the concept of what I'm doing here. Um, God, there's so much shit to talk about, though. There's so much shit to cram in here. Now, obviously, there's gonna be some of the stuff probably isn't gonna make it, but I do want to talk about crazy church people, big tits and church people. I love that concept, big tits and church people, because it's just, A, it's funny, and B, it just, it's like, no. And again, that'll follow directly up with the Colemans and talking about, yeah, because she had big tits and she was taboo. It was kind of like, no, it's just, it's like you're looking, again, you understand the 12-year-old boys were like, yeah, you're looking at Mrs. Coleman's tits again, aren't you? And like, no, no, it's because it wasn't even one of those things where it's like you secretly did. It was just like they were so weird that it was like, no. You don't even want to put yourself in that spot. You'd look at her tit. Don't get me wrong. You'd be looking at the thing, but it was more like, I'm gonna refrain from that. You know, even though it'd probably be in your best interest to do so. So fucking weird. My life has been so fucking weird. I can't even put it into perspective half the time. I mean, honest to Christ. Anyway, so what else do I want to talk about? I've been trying to rack my fucking brain about people that I want to talk about. And other than the Colemans, I can't think of anybody. I mentioned this in another clip. I may talk about Tibor Takis and their family. I don't know what else. I don't know what to do with that though. It's just because like anybody that I put in the book is in there because I want them to be in there. So it's like a special little moment where it's like I'm acknowledging them. I'm making fun of them, obviously, but I'm also it's like I'm honoring them in a way. I'm roasting them. I'm roasting them would be a better way to say it. Not really roasting, even though it is happening, but it's more of like if you're in the book, you mean something to me. Like I wouldn't put you in there if it wasn't important. Um, so I don't know. I'm trying to think who the fuck else is there to talk about. Um, like I've been racking my brain trying to think other more stories from when I was a kid. Is there stuff? Um, because there's a place I've set the way this is set up. I've got a place for any story. Like there's just about any story could fit in here somewhere. Um, like I actually want to talk about. There's one person I do want to talk about, but there's not much to talk about. See, that's the problem. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here, and there's not. It's like there's ideas. Like there's like somebody said something to me, ha ha ha, and that's about it. It's like one line. It's like okay, you can't make a chapter out of that. Um. So it's like I don't know what to do. But yeah, like I said, I've been going fucking crazy the last fucking week, thinking, is there anybody else I want to make sure got in the fucking book? We basically covered everybody. Dale T was covered. The old woman's covered. Graham is covered. Um, you were covered even. Gene was covered. Big Daddy Clark. Shiny Teeth of Salvation. Even Digger got in the book. Even Digger made it into the book. Jesus Christ. Pastor Morton made it into the book multiple times, even though I fucking railed his ass on that fucking second one. What he said to my mother. What he did to my mother. I don't feel guilty about that either. I was very hostile at the end of that, and I don't really care. Um, he made it in. Um, Pastor Simmons. We did talk about Pastor Simmons made it, although there wasn't like a dedicated section. um, I mean, there's really not much else to talk about. Um, I, W. Ralph Murray. I think we talked. I think we did talk about him, but I don't think he got like a section. But there's really not, again, not much else to talk about. Um, I mean, I think we even talked about Lukey at one point. Like Lukey didn't get his own chapter. Who else is there? I mean, there's Brett, but who the fuck wants to talk about Brett? Unless I did like a Brett Lukey Palmer thing, but there's nothing really to talk about. I met them one time. Well, not Brett. I mean, we went to school. But like Palmer, I think I met like twice. No, Palmer I met twice or three times, whatever. It was that one time at Burger King, and you took me up to their house a couple times, twice I think, and then. But yeah, there's really nothing else. There's nothing to tell. I met this old fucking crazy guy. I mean, Palmer always came across to me as somebody who had a manifesto somewhere. He came across like in all that pile of shit in his home. There's a manifesto, and he's going to go against the government at some point. He's kind of the guy. That's kind of the vibe that I got. And then Brett was over there swabbing his balls and shit, getting ready to go bowling. Jeez. Oh god, those fucking people are starting good. Yeah, but I don't know. Are they even worth putting in a book? Which I hate to say that because it's like one of them is your father, so it's like your father's not worth me talking about, you know. Well, actually, that's true. He's not worth me talking about because I had no interaction with him. I swear to God, I would like to talk about George though. That time when he had the seizure and fell into the meats. Oh my God, I'd love to talk about that, but I don't really know the story. I mean, other than he had seizures, fell into meats. I mean, I don't know how to develop a whole chapter out of that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something you could work up. I don't know. I want to talk about him and you and Stacy in the basement because you and Stacy always remind me of Bart and Lisa for some reason. Two of you, honestly, got remind me of like The Simpsons. And just being down in the basement with George and George being a complete dumb fuck. I'll have to go back and listen. Because I think there's a clip you talking about that. I may have to go back and listen to those. You know, I kind of miss when you used to send me clips too. I sort of started doing a clip thing, but whatever. Oh, maybe I could add him in there. I don't know how it would work, but yeah, he would be kind of fun to talk about actually. um, I guess I'll have to do it. Actually, you know what? I could work that up. I'd have to do another. I mean, if this is the end, then I should probably do this section on you, and then I could throw George in there, right? Like, you know, that might be a good idea. That would actually be a great idea. Because I kind of want to give like a little ode to the Super Duper. Camden's like classiest. Camden's classiest store. Like just it's like it's big deal. It's crown jewel. Oh my god, I remember going there with Jeffy. My mother babysit Jeffy. And we'd go there and the fucking donut case had fucking flies swarming in it. And my mother's like, yeah, no, I don't think we're getting donuts from there. I was like, yeah, I don't blame you, Mom, because there's fucking flies in it, son of a bitch. And I'm like, what, 7, 8 years old. I don't know, I should definitely do a whole Camden section. Oh, no, I'm definitely gonna have to do that too. Maybe instead of people, we could do like locations, like just talk about Camden. Like Camden deserves its own little. Oh my God, Camden deserves its own fucking chapter. I really am starting to believe that now. Again, I don't know where I'd go with it other than the super. Well, there's shit to talk about. I mean, just the collective retardation, the collective stench that comes from that place. It's like a black hole. Oh, it's like this wall, this veil of black misty woe. It's like you go in there and it's like you're going into another alternate dimension. It's like you literally cross through the threshold of fuckery. I should write that down. That's actually good quality stuff right there. Just talk about Camden. Oh my god. Because Camden has actually played a role in a lot of this stuff. It's been an entity. I should talk about Camden. That's fucked up. Yeah, and I can actually piggyback that off talking about George. You know, the Camden mentality. Oh, I'm actually excited about that. I don't know exactly where I would go with it. Um, but there's definitely stuff there. There's definitely stuff there. Skin tards come from there. I mean, just the whole high school. I mean, everything. Everything culminated around there. And only the smart people left. You know, like, I feel bad for your mother. She's still living in Camden. I'm assuming she is. I assume they didn't move. Yeah, I think we're going to have to talk about that. I think Camden's going to have to be a chapter. I don't know what I'd call it. Camden is the shittiest place on earth. Shittiest place on earth next to the dump or something. Or, yeah, I don't know, something like that. I mean, God, my God. See, the problem is Camden always kind of came across as like this. Like there's this facade. Like you go into Main Street and it wants to be this quaint, sweet little town out in the middle of nowhere, in upstate New York, and it's just this sweet little town. And you know, you go. They used to have the Five and Dime on the Main Street, and you had all these fucking. You had Subway or no, was it no Direct Subs or whatever the fuck it was called. They had. I remember that. I loved their subs there. I fucking love their subs. I don't know how they are today, but I remember back as a kid, I enjoyed that shit. And then we lost the Super Duper, but we gained McDonald's over by the high school. It's like the only legitimate highlight of Camden, swear to Christ, was Kinney Drugstore. I'd go there to get my comics back in the day because they had that rack. And I'd get all these Marvel Comic Presents, which was just these random stories with Wolverine in them. And I'd get oh my god, that's fucking great. That's back when they were like $1. Now they're like $4 a piece, but whatever. Oh my god, there's just so much stuff I could talk about. Okay, hey, you know what? I like that idea. I'm gonna talk about George again. I don't. I don't have it fresh in my head. That's the problem. I don't want to talk about something I don't know about. Which wouldn't stop me before, but I wonder if I can find the clips. Because you sent me clips, and I'm pretty damn sure I still have them. Where you were talking about, you went into this whole thing, and there was multiple scenarios where you were talking about George, and again, one was in the basement, the flooded basement, where he wouldn't let you come out until you bucketed the water out or whatever it was. Then it was a trip to, was it Arizona or somewhere out west? I can't remember where. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to talk about that. That definitely needs to be in a book. That definitely absolutely needs to be in a book. And then Camden, dude, I'm excited about this. This part again, I'm very excited about this book. This book is really like tickling my tits. I really appreciate that shit. And I don't know, man, because it's going, it's coming, it's coming in. It's just like no matter, like, I can't explain it. Like, I feel this one was meant to be. Again, I'm right now. I'm currently 18 pages in. Now, granted, I got like part 6. Everybody dies now. What? And then right under that, a couple spaces, part 7. Now, technically, you'd space those out. There's 2 extra pages right there. There's 3 pages, 4 extra pages, 5. Let me skip down a little bit there. Boom. Um, so yeah, I mean, shit, we're already 20 pages. Um, yeah, we got the night Gene died. I'm telling you, dude, I saw something. Let me skip. No, I don't know. Kind of want to. I want to skip one more. I think what I'm going to do. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it. I don't really care. I'm going to. Yeah, I like that better. It looks better. It's probably not how you're supposed to do it, but I don't care. What? I'm just kind of poking around with this. Anyways, one for the frosting, two for the cake, three for the take. Three to take. Wait, three to take for later. One for the frosting, two for the cake, three to take for later. Now go, Graham, go. Okay, that's what it was. What do we got here? Thanksgiving. Yeah, dude, I'm really, 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 really into this. Right now, currently, the title, and again, this is it's work in progress. I just put it like a placeholder there to get the concept of what I was going with, and right now it's OMFG. Oh my fucking god! Everyone is dead. Now what? Which is a little too similar to the ass end where I was like, everybody's dead. Now what? I might do a play on that, like tweak it or something. I don't know if that's going to be the final title. Probably not. I mean, like, oh my god, everybody's dead. Now what? Because originally I was going with chocolate chip cookies and Wire Dog. Oh my god, everybody's dead. Now what? Is book 4, which actually I don't know. I don't know. It's starting to grow on me. I don't know, but that's for a long, long time down the pike. Um, yeah, I've definitely got more stuff to talk about. I got a story called "Kids Are Pussies." Kids today are pussies. I got a story about having to defend the old woman from Jean. Jean kept saying, "Oh, your mother was jealous of my money." My mother wasn't jealous of her money. My mother was just tired of Jean giving her bullshit for spending money. Like if we ordered pizza, Jean would come home and bitch and complain, "Well, you don't have money and blah 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 the bills," and my mother's finally like, "You know what? Who gives a shit?" And of course, Jean took that as some big, how do you do? The only problem is I don't really want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the stepmother, but I do have the story about Dope Boy, and it's a book 4 title. Apparently, the fucker, I don't know what he did. I don't know if he borrowed money or something, but he owed somebody some money. He gave them my fucking phone number, so they would call up my house like every day looking for him, and I'm like, he's not here. Finally, I got so pissed off because literally they would call sometimes even 2 or 3 times a day, and it went on for months. Finally, I answered the phone as Jim. I'm like, "Hello, what the hell do you want, motherfucker?" I'm cursing and shit. I actually did that. I wish I had recorded it because it was hysterically funny. I'm like, "What do you want, motherfucker? What? What? Dope boy in here? You got the wrong house, motherfucker. No, don't give me that bullshit here, motherfucker. Don't live here." I went into this fucking riff like fucking crazy, and then I started screaming like down, "Oh!" in the background. It's like I'd hold the phone away from me and go, "Oh, daddy, no!" Nah. I started screaming and shit. they, sure, they basically stopped calling after that, which was very good for me. Oh, dude, I wish I had recorded it because I don't do that kind of stuff like ever, and I actually did it this time, and it was like, you know, one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. Sadly. Anyways, let's see. What do I got here? More Graham stuff for book 4. I gotta work that up. I do have stuff I can work up. I got. Let's see. Now again, not that everything's gonna be in here, but I got potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10. I got 10 more chapters right here, potentially. 11. I got 11 more chapters. And that's not even. That's just basic stuff. I haven't even. Because, again, I want to tell the narrative, so there's like individual little bits and pieces that I gotta like fill in. So shit. I mean, there's gonna be a lot here. I mean, it really is. That's why I wanted to separate book. I know you wanted to put like book 3 and 4 together, but I wanted to separate 3 because it's all that bullshit. That it's like a very toxic time in my life, and I had to give up on it. I had to give up on the freaking book 3 because it was just fucking me up mentally. This one, I transitioned into book 4, and it's like I've actually been happy the last couple of days. Like I can't wait to do more, and I'm really fucking pissed off that this fucking tablet is 86% battery life. God damn it. I don't even know. Whatever. That just pisses me off. Like when I want to write, I want to write. And I can't be beholden to the fucking battery of this piece of shit because it literally is dying like within 3 hours. In fact, I haven't been here an hour and a half. I've been here less than 2 hours, and I'm already down about 68%. Fuck you. Anyways, whatever. What do we got here? I am gonna go looking through my discs on my computer because I think I might have. I hope I got some more stuff. I'm gonna just look to see what I got. I'm still looking for the original book. Now I do have the original floppy disk. We're talking that old floppy, the big floppy, like the actual ones that actually flopped. Like you could just wiggle around, flop. I have the original, that Commodore 64, whatever the fuck it was we did it on. I still have that somewhere. I have that. I think it's in that stupid box, that Ninja Turtle box. I don't know what they did with that Ninja Turtle box. It better be out there with all the rest of my stuff. I assume it is. So I don't really know. I'm trying to think, but I just want to see the haiku poetry. The fucking stupid quote you came up. I really like haiku poetry. Oh, you know what I could do toward the end? I could do a chapter about actually writing the book and just some of the stupid shit, like almost like a behind the scenes kind of stupid, you know, just the stupid shit that we did originally. Like yeah, we actually went through and started thanking like everybody. That whole section, we were thanking Nike and we were thanking Mac computers. We were thanking. Dude, I can't even remember who else we thanked. I think I think we thanked Wise Potato Chips and a bunch of like snacks that we were into. Pepsi and Coke, I think. Oh my god, dude! It was like this whole laundry list of people we wanted to thank. So fucking retarded. I mean, just thinking about that shit, going back and just thinking about some of that shit, it's just absolutely stupid. And I'm glad we/you at the time had wherewithal to take some of that shit out. I really am because dude, there was this one section I found, and because you gotta understand, at the time I was a Christian Republican, and some of that shit read like a fucking manifesto. It did. It was like hate this group, hate that group, this group sucks, whites, blacks, the foreigners. It's just gays. It was like I don't know, man. But some of it's kind of funny to read back because some of it, like I reading back on that, it was one of the reasons I will never call myself a Christian conservative ever again is because I was reading the stuff that I was saying, and it's word for word what everybody else says. Like there was no genuine, real thought there, but yet I was on my high horse thinking, "Oh yeah, this is funny because it's it's true, it's real, it's something tangible." It's not. It's the same illogical bullshit that everybody else spews, and it was just really weird to me because I took these concepts as if I really have this belief. I believe this. I believe that. And when I started reading some of that stuff, it's like, there's not a coherent thought here. Okay, you can hate somebody. You'd be like, I don't like gays because I don't like what gays are doing or something. You could use that as one example and be like, I just don't like for example, I'll be honest, I don't like the fact that they wanted to change the definition of marriage. I don't appreciate that. If you're going to change every Webster's dictionary to include something that shouldn't be included, and yes, I don't think gay marriage should be included because, hey, you want to get married, there's a way to do it. Okay? It's like if I want to go to Disney World and I end up in Camden, Camden is not Disney World. I can't sit there and pretend as I'm walking down Main Street, oh, I'm in Disney World, oh, there's Mickey. No, no. If I want a certain, like if I go into a restaurant and say I want steak and they give me peanut butter and jelly, I can't sit there and look and say, wow, that's the greatest steak I've ever had. No, it is what it is. Okay, so that to me is a coherent thought. That is not your typical thought. You listen to a basic Republican who watches Fox News and go, oh, the gay agenda is going to take away your family values and all this other bullshit, and they just repeat the same talking points of retardation over and over. No, I don't have a problem with gays having something similar to marriage and having the equal rights of that. I am all for that 100%. But to sit there and say, oh, it's marriage, no. Again, I can't marry my shoe. I can't marry the dog. I can't sit there and say, well, we need to extend this to my personal beliefs. No. If I want to get married, I need to find a woman and settle down. Okay? That's simple. Again, it's like to me. So to me, that is the issue there. But whatever. Now that would you read what we wrote, and again, it's just shit you've seen on Fox News. It's shit that you hear from Rush Limbaugh, and it's word for word. There's no actual coherent thought. I was having no coherent thought. I was just regurgitating their bullshit, their talking point bullshit. I mean, at least like when I said, okay, I don't like the fact they changed the definition of marriage. You could agree or disagree, fine, but at least I was having a coherent thought that was my own. It wasn't like you hear Rush Limbaugh talking about that. No. They're talking about family values. Of course, this is from the same fucking guy who's had, how many wives now? But hey, whatever. Give me a break. Don't get me started. I don't want to get political here, but see, again, maybe I'll start a political book next, after this. Dude, I'm telling you, a political book would be actually really fun. I really, really think that shit would be fun. But, that's, again, this is going to take me probably a year to fucking do. I mean, I don't know, maybe not that long. But I want to sit on it a little bit. Maybe not 10 years, hopefully. Yeah, dude, a couple of those we sat on for 10. Book 2 we sat on for 10 years. Well over 10 years. I've had book 2 done, completed for a long time. I mean, it was at least a decade. That's why I was like, fuck it, I gotta do this. I don't know what spawned me to be like, let's do this. I'll be honest, I don't know what it was. But then I got into 2 and I was like, shit, and 2 was going good and I felt good about it. The stories were coming and it was coming along good, and I was happy with what was there and the layout and just the way everything kind of went together and blah blah blah, and I was like, shit, let's go into 3. I'm in the 4, so it's like, again, when that shit comes, you got to put it on paper. It's like, and I'm just, well, first off, it's wintertime and there's ain't nothing else to fucking do except sit here and contemplate my own suicide. So in a way, it's helping me. It's you understand, this shit's therapeutic as fuck. Like right now with the whole thing with The Hobbit, After I finished book 3, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm completely done with this. Like right now, I literally feel like burden has been lifted off my chest. Like I actually feel better about the universe in a way. I don't understand it. Now, granted, she probably read it and get all pissed off again and be like, the war starts over again. But I feel very therapeutic about that shit because it was shit that I was harboring for over a decade, and now it's like, okay, it's been released. I've said my piece. Whether it ever gets published, whatever. But it's good quality therapy. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And which is why I'm more excited for book 4 because now it's like I can tell Graham stories, I can tell Gene stories, and I think this right here to me is a very interesting uh, concept. This book that I'm doing, book 4, is very interesting to me because I want to kind of go back to what I did with book 1, where it's like there's a narrative, but then there's other shit. Well, actually, book 2 is the same way, so I want kind of like book 1, 2, and 4 to be kind of similar. And 3, like I said, I did something different. Now, whether that works, yeah, book 3 is weird to me because, again, I either did something very genius or very stupid. I don't know which, because I didn't want to leave, you as the editor to have to pick up the fucking slack with that shit. So again, I hope it worked, and if it didn't, I don't know what to do. So you're gonna have to come in with the fresh eyes and be like, okay, this either works or it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, I don't know. I don't want to have to go back to that. That's the problem. I don't want to have to relive that shit. Like I don't have to read that stuff. It's kind of like I said, it kind of released and I'm done, and it's like, I just want to put that on the back burner, put it on the back shelf, and be done with it. But obviously, if you got to go back and redo stuff, I don't think you have to redo it though. That's the problem. I'm worried about it, and it's one of those things until I get confirmation. And you're like, okay, this works, or it doesn't work, or it needs some. If anything, it might need some minor tweaking. I don't think it's something that needs to be overhauled, like insanely. It's just if there's a problem, like I said, I think it's just minor tweaks and minor sections that just need to be tweaked, which you probably can just do as you're reading through it. Because again, if you start seeing where I'm repeating myself, then obviously you might want to tweak the wordage a little bit. Actually, if you tweak the wordage just a tiny bit in a couple of those areas, that might, I don't know, that might actually just fix the problem, if there's a problem. Because again, I can't tell. I honest to God, I can't tell if there's a problem. It's gotten to the point where it's like I feel like there's a problem. That's the problem. I feel like there's a problem. Because it comes across to me as like I'm repeating myself, which I'm doing right now. I did this last clip too. I'm repeating what I'm saying, and I'm repeating what I'm saying, and I'm repeating what I'm saying. And you see how I'm doing it. You see how the thought process works when you hear these clips, because it's like I say the same thing, and you see the thought process and how it works. Again, I'm repeating my goddamn self, and I do that a lot. And I think I did that in this book, and I don't. Whatever. I'm just gonna move on. And again, I'm just working this shit out in my own head, so whatever. Just stuff I want to talk about potentially. Just things that I need to talk about, want to talk about. Yeah, I like the idea of Camden. I like the idea of talking about George. I like the idea of talking about the Colemans and the big tits and church people. I love that title. Big tits and church people. I mean, think about that for a second. Bob David's wife had big tits too. His ex-wife. Just gonna throw that out there. How a woman with tits like that? That seemed like a weird combination because he was a nice guy, but he was kind of a nerd. So he's just this really sexy, hot woman with big ass fucking titties. With him, it's just really weird, very strange to me. But yeah, his wife had, and she was flaunting him too. She was running around church and shit with her tits flapping, and it's like, oh my god. Now, being a young mail, you're looking at that, you're like, what the fuck is going on? It was, whatever. Very odd. Some very odd people run around that church, I swear to God. Whatever. Let me think. Is there anything else? Do. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but there's a lot of stuff to do. So it's kind of a weird little thing to say. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm very excited about what's going on here. Because book 4 is gonna be way more cohesive. It's already way more cohesive than book 3 was, and I don't want to say book 3 wasn't cohesive. That's not a good way to say it. Again, what I did is the first section. I set up these moments, these points. Like Dale T asks if he can go date. He then moves out. Then he goes dating, and then he moves out, and then they bring the cupboards in, and she moves in, and just like I set up these points, these like juncture marks where it's like, and then these other stories from part 2 and most of part 3, they kind of branch off from those moments, and they're not necessarily in any particular order, but I keep using them as like an anchor, or it's like remember this moment, boom, and here's some more stuff. Remember that moment, boom, and it's just, again, I don't know if that'll work. I really, I'm worried about that. I keep harking on it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work as a cohesive, written, readable material. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I keep repeating myself. So again, that's why I'm worried about it. So, anyways, I don't want to talk about that. Let's move on. Tired of repeating myself. What is this? Blank 3? Oh, that's all my freaking shit. Never mind. I did find this thing that you did. I don't know why you did it. It's called Shoot Me in the Ass. And it's something to do with like my work. Uh, and it's this outline. Survey of creative output. 1. Visual. A. Early drawings and painting. Education. Watercolor with Ralph Murray. B. Character building. Jim and Dennell, etc. I. Origins. II. Usage. C. Photo montage and GIFs. Magazines, digital. Oh, the Babies with Guns series. I remember that. That was great. I take all these pictures of babies and put guns in their hand. Curl series, Broken. Oh, the Broken series. That's right. I forgot all these people had like fake limbs and shit. Oh, then we had the mail. Oh, the mail art. I remember that. I sent pictures like Betsy and Dale T like stomping around on the front of the letter and send it through the mail to you. Then we got the video works. Music video, blah blah blah. We got sculpture. Let's see, we got Gumworks. Description of piece, locations, effects, assemblage, the ditch, the room. Text, number 3. We got the book, its purpose and evolution. To work of Matthew Ballou. B is continuing work, trilogy writings, which I'm gone beyond that. Gaming reviews, number C. Then we got number 4 is audio, spoken word, work, clip sets, and CDs. That's right, I had all those CDs back in the day, Jim and Dennell. Like there's that one where they're trapped in time, and I did that effect where it's like, no more, no, daddy. they were trapped in space and time. Stupid fucking shit. Oh, then it was that one with the skunks in the trash, and basically I had a trash bag underneath my desk, and I had a couple cans in it. I was clanking it, so I was like, and I was like, "That is the skunks in the trash." So stupidly funny. Actually, I don't know if it was funny, but whatever. Then we got songs, cover songs. I didn't do a lot of songs. I mean, other than like when I start these clips. In character songs, we got impromptu. Number 5 is character as proxy and catalyst. Focus on incident. What? Between comedy and commentary. The comedic influences and elaboration. Whatever. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't know why you made this thing up. It's just like 2 or 3 pages. Um, Talking about like influences of my artwork. I don't know why you did it, but I found it, and it's called "Shoot Me in the Ass." So, yeah, it's there. So, I'm trying to think. Hopefully, I can find more stuff on my discs. And right now, I'm just kind of rambling. I'm just rambling because these are the best times when all of a sudden like an idea will pop into my head, or it's like, oh, I can talk about that. Blah, blah, So I apologize if this clip is getting long. Actually, I don't apologize. I don't give a fuck. But it is what it is. Um. Actually, no. I probably will just end this clip because I want to write some more, and I'm just tired of. I'm tired of talking to you, quite frankly, because you suck dick at life, and I don't really want to talk to you. So you know what? Fuck you. Goodbye.